Welcome to QueAquatics and Exotics. My name's Suzy, and today I want to talk about one of my 40-gallon breeders. I actually have a wall of 10 40-gallon breeders. And on this wall, I would have to say, most of them have Home Depot lights. They're all set on timers. But this is the tank that I'm working on today.
So come along with me, it's SuzyQue.
In this tank, it wasn't the blackbeard algae, it was more the hair algae. So I tried turning the lights off and doing a blackout for a week, and it made a tiny dent. So I've been physically removing it with my brush, my net. So this aggressively attacking the hair algae in this tank this weekend. Aggressively. I have removed hair algae probably about this much every week when I do my water changes. I brush out the plants. I do as much as I can. This much, probably about a cup of hair algae every week. But I never actually try to rid it of hair algae. Just recently I tried to rid it of the hair algae by doing the same method I used on my other tank, a complete blackout. And what that did is there was blackbeard algae closer to the ground on some of the plants. It dislodged the black hair algae. So it was like little dark green pom-pom balls floating around my tank. So I created a bit of a whirlwind, and I've been physically removing. Just removed a whole lot of algae. Put the brush in, twirled around a whole lot of hair algae as well. I'm going to keep on working on it. Okay, I'm filling it back up, but I'm trying to experiment. So not only do I have that one, I've got two hang on the back filters going on this tank. Okay, so having the two hang on the backs is actually twofold. This is the filter that was on my 55 that I thought was leaking. So once I get it totally dry, I'll be able to see if this is leaking at all, or if it was the plant that I had in it, which is very plausible. I'm going to move this one all the way over. So we got water coming in this way, going this way, catching as much as I can. Okay, this is the third water change, and see how this goes. But right now, I'm not looking at the fish as much as I'm looking at the algae. And here's how much that within the movie was 2 hours long. And this intake, and the intake back here, that's how much I had just floating around in the water column. But I am not done. I'm going to continue to work on this tank until it's where I want it. And now I'm getting ready to do some fine tuning. I think I'm getting down to the wire because already I am loving the results. But as soon as I go to pull this out to clean off this, it's going to get murky. As soon as I go to clean off the back or start brushing the hair, I kind of like brush the plant backwards with my brush and twirl at the same time to remove the remaining hair algae. And the reason I'm brushing it backwards and twirling, because if I brush it up, I will just uproot all the plants. So I kind of hold the top of the plant and I brush down and twirl. It's almost like brushing the hair. of the hair algae and pulling it out. This is going to be fun, but it's so clear and so pretty, I hate to mess it up. But I got to do what I got to do. Big part of me wants to just leave it because it's the best it's looked in a long time. But I know it can look much better. So can you see these little pom-pom balls now floating around again? There are so many of them, and it's little tiny pieces of black algae. And I'm just going to keep going at it. So now that I've removed as much algae and floating stuff as I can see, well actually I haven't removed everything I see because the more I remove the more I see, but I did a big chunk of it. So let's come back in another movie and see how it's doing. But I'm very happy that this filter is not the issue. Wow. Now that I can see these gorgeous fish, let's talk a little bit about this Congo Tetra. It's actually Phenacogrammus interruptus. I'm just going to call it a Congo Tetra. And it's from Africa. It's one of the African tetras from the river Congo in Zaire. And it was first discovered in about 1949. But it wasn't really until the 1970s that these fish became into the hobby. They come from small streams, ponds, marshes. They are gorgeous schooling fish. And these are my centerpiece fish. I never thought I'd have tetras as my centerpiece fish, but I just think they're absolutely spectacular. Look at these colors. It's almost like like an oil slick of these beautiful array of rainbow colors. The male's going to be slightly larger than the females, and the female's going to be a little more plump. The males have a longer dorsal fin. They're kind of like a purplish, translucent color. And the most spectacular, or the most stunning part about them is that they look like they're outlined in white. Absolutely love this fish. They have a lifespan of about 3 to 5 years. And I get between 3 and 4 inches in captivity. I wouldn't put anything less than a 29 gallon. They like temperatures, yeah, the regular tropical temperatures around 77. They can go up to 82. pH, my tap water comes out at 6.8, which is perfect. But if they were breeding, I'd put some peat moss in here, not only for the eggs, but to lower it just a tad bit. And food, they're omnivores, so that makes it very easy. So far, I found they like the dried foods, the flake foods, the pellets, bug bites, algae. They nibble on the plants a little bit. They like the brine shrimp. I haven't found anything that they haven't liked yet. Now, the tankmates I have in here are these beautiful cory cats. I have hillstream loach. And this beautiful pleco, this gold spot pleco. But there are so many amazing tank mates that you could put with these besides the corridors. You could put rainbow fish, CPDs, ember tetras, neon tetras, chili rasboras, rummy nose, sword tails, barbs. There's so many different fish, but I think these are going to be my centerpiece of this tank. This is a 40-gallon breeder, and if they start to breed, I'm going to set up a 20-gallon long just for that purpose, because they are egg layers and they can produce up to 500 eggs, but they will predate on their eggs. So I'd either have to remove the parents out of here or the eggs out of here. So if I'm going to start to breed them, I'm going to set up my tank way ahead of time so it's ready. So I like how this has come out so far. I'm really happy. Started, I guess, around Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. There was 4 water changes and a whole lot of scooping and physically removing. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going at this because I love these Congo Tetras. So I'm super excited on how this turned out. it's definitely worth the effort because these Congo Tetras are beautiful in my opinion. Absolutely beautiful. It's a 40-gallon breeder with these gorgeous guys in it. Now I'm going to continue to do this probably every 3 days. I'm going to physically remove as much as I can, and I'm going to continue to double up on the water changes, and then in about a week or so I'll try another blackout. But right now I'm already loving how this looks. Look at those beautiful Congo Tetras. So thanks guys, thanks for coming out and checking out my 40-gallon breeder Congo Tetra tank. And I'll see you next time.
Hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. Hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. Nah, hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. So come along with me. Said I'm SuzyQue.